Welcome back. Our next guest stems from Walhachin, which is located about 10 kilometers west of Kamloops Lake. Sue Nydam, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Susan.
Yes, so you've been living there for 4 years.
Yes.
We need to first start by describing Walhachin. For people who haven't heard of Walhachin, a lot of our viewers know where it is, but some may not, so tell us about it.
Walhachin, which is about a 40-minute drive from Kamloops towards Cache Creek, has a population, permanent population of about 31 people. Its history basically was from 1910 to 1914, and then after that it sort of became a deserted town. So it's a beautiful area. I love it there. I have 2 big dogs. We go for walks. It's very peaceful.
So in its heyday, 1910 to 1914, the city or the town was sort of a affluent community of English people that had come from England, had been promised grandiose lands and abundant crops, and they came and they very much built it up to be a beautiful place. But then the war came along, all the men went to war back to England, and most of them didn't return, they were killed, which left the state of this little community in not a very good spot.
It's exactly right. In 1914, 97 of the 107 able-bodied men enlisted to fight in the war, and that was the demise of the town. There were 350 people living at that time around there, 150 Brits, and what the Brits did was they thought the war was going to only be 2 or 3 months. Yes. And so they decided the whole family would go visit their relatives in England, and then the rest would go and fight in France and then come back. Needless to say, the war was 4 years long, and half the men died, and then none returned, hardly any returned.
Yes. I've always found the history of Walhachin very interesting, and for people who don't know about it, you have now an excellent opportunity to learn about it because you have a museum there.
Yes, we've had a museum there for the past 10 years. Unfortunately, last year we couldn't open because of the fires, and so this year we're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 to 4, and people are welcome to browse around and look at the history.
And we're looking at some pictures of this now, Sue, and you can speak to these.
Yeah, this is the front of the hall. It was built in 1910, and it's called the Walhachin Soldiers Memorial Hall. The Brits built it. This is the back of the hall where we have a barbecue, pizza oven, and a checkerboard square where we meet every Saturday at 10 o'clock for coffee.
Very nice.
And flowers and everything like that. And we are right now just having a cenotaph built.
Oh, great.
A 6-foot cenotaph, which to commemorate the men who gave up their lives in World War I.
Yes.
And here we see some of the samples of the hotel. That was a cup, 1910 tennis cup that the Brits had. Quite a lot of interesting facts about it.
And they lived very well in its heyday in Walhachin. It was a very luxurious amenities, I understand, that were sort of unheard of in other towns at the time.
You're correct, because they had hot and cold running water and each bedroom had a sink. It was very British.
Right.
Very British in its style.
Yes. And so a lot of the pieces that are in the museum are from the original settlers, would that be fair to say?
A few are. This is a Walhachin bottle, for example. It was made in Britain and then filled in the hotel of Walhachin. And that's very unique, very rare, and we were able to get one.
That's nice.
A lot of items are from the original times. We haberdashery and so forth, but we're always adding more things, more history, because the museum is focusing on 3 things. One is the settlement of Walhachin. The second is because it's a Soldiers Memorial Hall on military equipment.
Yes.
And I have some here to show.
Yes.
And the third is the railway, because the CNCP are both there.
Yes. So we'll pull out of these pictures here, and what we have on the coffee table essentially are some very interesting pieces. You were mentioning one of these is 400 years old. Here, I'll take those flowers.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm surprised you got through reception with this.
I'll first show this sword here.
Yes.
This is a sword from 1912, owned by Major Browning, and it's a British cavalry sword, very rare. And it was actually used in the First World War. And you'll notice how long it is and whatever. So it's quite rare. And
it's the real McCoy.
It's the real McCoy.
Yeah. It's like something you'd see in a movie.
And then over here we have BC horse. The 31st BC horse is from British Columbia in the First World War. They were Kamloops, Merritt, Vernon, Kelowna, Walhachin, and It's also very rare to see these badges because they disappeared. And I always wonder who wore this in the First World War, you know.
Yeah.
So
we only have 30 seconds left, but let's quickly hold this up and take a look at this. Look at this
This
piece.
is from 400 years ago in Austria. It was used to fight the Moors attacking the Austrians, the Germans, and the farmers made this into a weapon. And you can see how many times it was in battle over here. And there's the tree of life and the religious cross because they're very superstitious. So this is actually used in battle.
That's crazy. I would not want to see that coming towards me, let me tell you.
I know.
Anyway, we're out of time. I hate when we run out of time, but essentially, Friday, Saturday, Sundays throughout the summer, 11 until 4.
Yes.
And it's just a 40-minute drive from here. It's worth it's just a very historically interesting place to go and check out. So,
and it's free admission.
Yeah,
by donation.
which is how can you lose, right?
Yes.
Sue, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Susan.
All right, quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.